Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Come on, man. Let's go. At their own 19-yard line.
Okay, ready?
50's the mark.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Look at me. Go.
Babies cry all the way back home. Let's go.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Get it.
Elway now off of play action. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, exit.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
Man, that's trash.
Hard.
Switch.
Ready.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 62-yard punt return as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, they were going to get excellent field position either way. They had pinned them deep, but that's even better.
So in other words, being comfortable with field position, that was going to be okay. But sometimes being greedy is the right way to go. And boy, they take it all the way back, put it in the end zone. A great way to get started for them.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Wild Bill.
Out of the gun, Elway. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Yep.
58's the mark.
Now.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Elway. And his throw is incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Again, it's Elway. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Down. 30 base.
Here we go, team. Here I come. Here I come.
Let go.
First carry for Darius Geis. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Going up top. This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Andy Isabella with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
You. Kill.
General West. Let go.
To throw is Elway. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Geis, they'll try to run it, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Darius Geis, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the
Now Elway. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And that's caught by Smith. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
58.
Look, squeeze.
Come on. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just
Now Elway on 1st down. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1.
With the score, Cowboys 21, Browns nothing.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
You ain't got nothing.
Throwing again. Elway. Complete. Smith has it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Elway looking to pass again. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 7-yard line.
Break.
55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
We ain't giving up nothing today. Let's go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking left side, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
And a Cowboy 1st down.
Ready to break.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Haywood. Get it.
They're going to look to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hey, Delta. Ready?
He'll drop to throw. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And an alley to run. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Cowboys. Darius Geis with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
On the ready.
The Browns drive about to get started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Elway. He's got his man on the crossing route. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Elway. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Go!
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Elway to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. This is the tight end, Njoku. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Protein spill.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, check right, check right.
They'll set up to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Andy Isabella, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
So that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
He'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Geis with the carry on second down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Set, ready? 15, line. 15 line. Get it.
They'll look to throw. Able to find Isabella. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 34. They'll set up a throw. This one caught by Isabella. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On the ground, Geis, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Darius Geis, his 21st touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Now Elway on 3rd and long. That's into the hands of Edwards. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Elway. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Let's go.
Geis. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Darius Geis, touchdown number 22 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Again, it's Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Fair.
Let's go.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Go. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Check 9.
Check 99.
Hey!
I got you.
Here we go with Kamara. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Down. 18 Gator.
It's our time.
Hey, Zoo.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to go up top. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Elway. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 4th down, Elway. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Hey. Recon, 132 fighter. He's crashing. He's checking.
On 1st down, this is Geis. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. This will be caught inside the 10. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Darius Geis with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Elway. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw is Elway. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Elway to throw again. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now it's Elway. Steps away. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Roquan Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Switch gears. Switch gears. Hey. Hey, Echo. Hard. Big grip.
They'll try and throw for it with Elway. Looking middle, and that's complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, Elway out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He may try and run for this. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
Let's go, Bravo. Now. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go, D. Go on. We got to step it up. Look, squeeze. You go tight. Let's go.
Throwing now, Elway on 1st down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now it's Elway. We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Exit. 3 down. 46 to Mike. 46 to Mike. Yo, go. Smooth.
Check Mike 46. Check Mike 46.
Silver. 46, boys. 46 to Mike. I got one. Mike, 46. Ready?
One last shot for Elway. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing,